Okay, hello guys. Hello, happy to be here today as usual on Tuesday. My name is Ruben. I will do the trading room with you today. As usual, let me know in the chat if everything is set up properly. I mean the sound, the video. I don't think we're gonna have here an issue. But yeah, let me know on the chat if everything is good. And yeah, say hi on the chat, guys. Say where you're from and how you feel today. Meanwhile, I'm drinking a bit coffee. Okay, Sarah from UK, almost complete the phase 1 of bootcamp. Congrats. That's good. That's a good day actually to trade today. There is a lot of movement, especially on the pound. Yeah, big movement in the pound, in the euro USD as well. We're gonna dig directly into the market and check if we can find any good spot. I want to make some scalp. This is basically the type of spot I like to go. You know, a big day where there is a lot of volatility. So yeah, I will show some of the trade I like to take. Of course, like I already explained, the type of trade I'm taking. And again, a disclaimer, only from an educational purposes. This is not a trading advice. So guys, take your responsibilities when opening a trade. I'm taking my own decision, and you're doing your own risk. Actually, you take your own risk here. Okay, Daryl, Milda, Jan. Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, so basically, just want to show something meanwhile. Okay, let's move into the market. Just want to show you some stuff here. Hey Yanis, good evening. Yeah, the pound is not easy today, right? Big movement actually. Okay. Hello from Italy. Hi. Greetings from Slovenia. Okay, everywhere in the world. Yeah, I just want to talk very quickly to the pound, and then we're gonna move into other analysis. But basically, this is the type of movement I'm all the time looking for. It's a big movement of volatility in a small amount of time. Basically, this is what is happening from what is move actually. In 2 days, in a matter of 2 days, the market already made this type of big movement. And then if you go to the H1, you see from here also to here at least no retracement, which means the market is very strong on one side. And again, what you see actually here is that I'm doing the opposite. I'm actually selling the market. I'm expecting the market to retrace a little bit. Again, according to my analysis, according to what I think about the market, basically I'm not expecting the price to basically crack down here all the way down, but at least a small retracement, which can attract the for example this diamond here. This is something that I will be happy to exit on the market. Maybe here also that can be a good exit for my trade. Again, this zone here is for me a strong zone. We go straight into this zone. We are already far from the mean. Probably losing momentum a little bit on the M30. You see here that this movement was a very nice entry for people that like to make on breakout. You see we're actually here below stochastic trending. We cross it and then we bounced up. but yeah, here we are almost closing. Not yet. It didn't close yet, but I mean, it will start to create losing momentum. That's what I expect actually. Yeah, the stop loss should be very tight. You see, in this type of setup, I don't want to risk more than this zone. Okay, I don't want to hold the trade that will break it here, because if the market breaks actually this point, there is a high chance that we go to this supply, which is too far from me. I will probably open again on the trade. So that's what I think on the pound USD. It's a bit different in the euro because we don't have any spot on the left side of the chart. You see on H4, we don't have any like supply zone that we can react. That's why I actually go into the pound. What about the daily? Yeah, on the daily you see that actually the market react on this demand. We didn't go below, you know, but actually here we already had some buyers ready. What I can expect here is I don't know, at some point maybe go back to this demand and then making a buy. For me, the market already pushed too far, and there is nothing to make a sell here. I don't see any spot. I mean, any supply on my left side on the screen. In opposite to the pound, you know, you see guys on the pound, for example, here we have a pivot point, if you can call it like this. We also see here on the H1 that this is a key zone into the left side. I was also looking to the pound Aussie and the pound New Zealand this morning. There are also some good stuff to do there, but I'm already opening something in the pound USD, and that's why I don't want to be overexposed in the pound. So this is the pound Aussie, Batista. Let's look what's happening here. You see, for example, the pound Aussie, this may be something that I would be looking for here. Good that I was not there. But yeah, the daily chart, it's for me again overextended. There is here a high chance again that we reach the top. Again, I don't feel too much comfortable with the pound Aussie. You see, we have quite an uptrend on the M30 creating. This is quite very healthy, and we already break this point here. So I will rely on the pound USD trade I have, and see how far it can go. Of course, I want to a little bit increase my exposure. This is not the full outside that I want to go in. I'm waiting for the market to push a little bit more, maybe to the top here, to average my price, and then I will be fully in. So just wait, be patient. This is not so much a scalp here because you know, the entry will be made on M30 minutes. You know, if the market reacts very quickly to the downside, that can be a day trade. But it's not a scalp, I think, on this one. Not a scalp. So yeah, day trade on the pound USD. Just position myself. What about gold? I think we already talked about gold, and I explained that the 1,800 levels, which actually we reach today, was for me a point where I want to position myself in the long term. Okay, not in the short term, but in the long term. And this actually give you a spot here for entering gold in the long term. We all the time make a lower low. You remember, guys, we had I don't know, this zone, and then we had this zone. Oops, don't want this one. Okay, and then the market continue. We just had here a small pump here, but that can be the first entry and first indication in gold to make an entry on the long side. Yeah, we had also, you see, this type of big zone here that we break through, and then we also had this one. Okay, so basically this is a healthy downtrend. But if you go to daily chart or even weekly chart, you see that the 1,800, first of all, is a psychological level. Because of the 1,800, we've been talking a lot about that level. If you go to news and so on, and the market already react technically to this level several times. Here we have all the indication, all the stars aligned in my analysis. So we have stochastic, so we finish the momentum on the downside. We are at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, so we are far from the mean. We are actually touching the key zone here, and talking about a macro environment perspective. Gold in the long term tend to rise, and we are still not going out of the inflation. So this may be a hedge for some people that want to hold a portfolio with several assets. So that's why I believe here in gold might be the opportunity in the long term. In the short term, that can be also a spot. You know, this morning the market react several times to this spot. I was not here, but anyway, this was a spot for make some buy, also for the sell at the top. You see on the M30, this is the zone I identified just before. So the market is reacting here. It's very technical, working well. Just moving back to the pound, checking what's going on. Yeah, just market reacting. All right. We have a USD news. Yeah, I think we have a news today on the dollar. It's my at least get a little bit break on the pound, at least. And if we break through, but that's fine. I have a stop loss. You know, that's why I'm all the time playing with stop loss. I don't like to put like mental stop loss. This is not. I'm not comfortable with. You know that some of you guys know to do that, but I prefer to put a stop loss and say, okay, that's the limit of my exposure. I can handle. Calendar. Okay, let's look. Let's look this together. Do we have USD news? This is today? Ah, no, this is all the week. Okay. Tuesday. Okay, we have actually CB consumer confidence. I don't know if I'll look at this number. I don't know if it's gonna have a big impact. I don't know what is CB. Maybe guys, you can explain to me. Consumer confidence. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe confidence of a customer to buy some goods and services in US. I mean, yeah, we had a GDP in CAD earlier, but USD CB consumer confidence. All right, we don't have anything yet. FOMC member speaks. Also low impact expected. Okay. I'm short on dollar yen, Grim. Okay, good luck, Grim. Let's look at the dollar yen. Maybe I will see. We will see if I'm on the same spot as you. Yeah, no big news today. Yeah, that's what I think. Okay. Daily. Yeah, the dollar yen, you know, is quite tricky here, I think. I think the next big zone is the big rectangle that I put. You see, we are at the top here, and then we are the bounce, reacting multiple points. We did not reach yet this big zone. Okay, so I don't know if you short in the short term or in the long term, but especially, I think there is still some space to go here. Again, by looking at my analysis, so on daily chart, we are already at the end of the momentum here. Looking at the daily chart, we are at the top of the Bollinger Bands. Again, if I go to the left side of the chart to see if there is any supply, any big zone, it seems this is not so clear, you know. We have maybe this supply here, but we have a big zone that is just above. So I don't know if you want to build a position or if you only short in a short term. That depends. But actually, I will not touch so much the dollar yen. Okay, I will wait. Like I said in gold, for example, you know, I said, yeah, I don't want to make a buy yet here and yet here. I want to wait the 1,800 levels and then maybe boom, I go in. And if the price goes, you need to be patient. Sometimes you can miss the opportunity. In gold, this is not what happened. In dollar yen, it depends how you build the position. That is very important regarding how you build the position. If it's long term, I totally agree with you. Okay, you can make some sell and make 100 pips above another sell and so on. At the end, I think you know, you're gonna have some retracement on the downside. That's why I think. But again, on the H1, H4 charts, quite, you know, very difficult to make a sell actually. If it's for the long term, I totally agree with you. This is something I want to do also. Here in the pounds, yeah, market is quite reacting well here. We'll see how far we can go. I didn't go full exposure, but I will be okay if the market goes down from here. Hey, what is the outlook for Pound New Zealand? Okay, let's look. Pound New Zealand. Yeah, Pound New Zealand, it's also a very nice spot. I mean, big zone here on Pound New Zealand. You see, on the daily chart, if you go even to the monthly chart, you see that we are especially at the average on the monthly chart. A big average, you know, we have this big zone. The market from 2017 didn't make any big movement on the upside, on the downside. You see, like on 2014, the market pushed up to 2.47, and then from 2017 until today, the market, you know, was playing between a big range. And if you go to the weekly, we'll see even better. You see, all the time the market is touching one of the range, we go back again to the mean. Okay, this is like one of the big spots I like. If you go to the weekly, we are at the average. Okay, so all the downside is the lowest point, highest point, and then all the time you see the price is all the time diverging to the mean, especially here. Going to the daily chart, we are especially at the mean, and we see that also psychologically this is a place where traders are placing their exposure. This is again a big key zone on the daily chart, and the market has gone very drastically into this zone. Again, on the H4 we have crossing here. That can be definitely a very good opportunity in a swing, into a swing trade, which means holding the trades for a few days here. I highly believe we can have a reaction on the downside. I can definitely open a trade here, but yeah, it's more on the long term, so it will not be so much important. If I order trade here, I can open like 0.25, 0.30 regarding the risk I want to take. But again, nice spot. Nice spot here, money on Pound New Zealand. Steve, Australian USD, let's go on. What are we in the pound? Nothing yet. Yeah, big range from the London session and from last week. You know, the market went down drastically, and then we are still here. Again, we are not so far from the average here. This is something I definitely don't want to touch as today. Yeah, maybe here the market, you see, react to this demand. You see definitely here the market react earlier in the London session. This is definitely a spot that Jordan would like to enter. You know, when the market goes down, lower volume, and then demand here, and the market bounced. I don't know if Jordan will probably not be here on the live. He's probably sleeping. He's from Australia, but this is the type of setup he like to go with. Taking this type, you know, identifying a zone on the London session, looking at the volume and the momentum. You see also that the momentum was quite down. The market pushed up here on the M30. You know, quite very difficult to make something. The market already pushed a little bit down from here. If I go to higher time frame, yeah, again the market is on a big zone. I also identified just before. Okay, yeah, the blue line. This is something that I always have here on the Aussie dollar. Okay, we are also in a big key zone, so stochastics below 20 here on the daily chart. The market already extended on the downside. Okay, this might be the beginning of a retracement on the upside. I mean, if I look at the market. Again, the range is big here. I don't know. There is probably 150 pips between the top. No, yeah, let's say 90 pips in this big zone. So you need to know how to build a position and to make some partial entry if you want to go in the long term. But yeah, this is quite a nice spot for going here. I don't know. There is not a lot of volume here, but as you know, guys, I don't like to wait for a confirmation. I go with data and I go with some analysis. I don't like to wait for any confirmation. You know, sometimes when you wait for a confirmation, the risk reward will be way lower, and that's why I'm not comfortable by waiting a confirmation. But again, this is personal, and that's fine. Yeah, what's happening in the US indices? Maybe we have some trade here. The market will open in the next few minutes. For me, the uptrend is still intact. I mean, from October 2022, when we made a new low in the S&P. I think, you know, it's quite very healthy here that at some point here we're gonna have a bounce and make a high to 4,200 in the S&P. I mean, this is quite healthy here, you know, and also the momentum here is below 20, so we might have some spot to go in the upside. Again, there is not a lot of yeah, it should take some time for the market. You know, sometimes the market like to make some consolidation like here. Also here the market, you know, react multiple times, and probably here we will start a zone when the market saying, okay, changing hands. I don't know if I want to break out on the downside or if I want to go on the upside. So here the market will probably dance around this zone. So that's why some people like to position themselves here, like they did here and like they did here. And you know, it's quite the same where we go at the top. You see here also creating a top. So basically create a base and then we create a top. I don't know, maybe this big zone also is very interesting. And then when the market is on an uptrend, there is only a few days when the market retraces, and then the market is only on an uptrend. Okay, and I think it's a pattern that we see a lot of time. For example, here you see uptrend, at least no retracement. The market is all the time pushing up, and then we make a base. Like here, it's a top, and then we go down, and you know, it's quite the same here. For example, it's quite the same here. So all the time that we see the market is changing hands, the market like to revert, especially on the indices. This is something that's worked many times, and if you guys like to backtest, this can be very interesting. You can actually build a strategy around that. But yeah, here again, prefer to wait. There is at least not a big confirmation on the long term. What's your weekly bias on dollar index? Yeah, this been a long time that I didn't analyze the dollar index. So thank you for reminding me. This is something I will do right now. Oops. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Again, same zone that I look for. This was the big zone that the market breakout. You see, this was a big key zone. The market react here, basically. So in the weekly, this was very healthy again, very healthy movement. On the monthly, the market just stopped close to the top that we had in 2022, 2002. But yeah, you hear it was very healthy, you know. Market breakout goes back down here. Again, here, if the market will make a new high or breaking down, go back to 95 and below 100, this is, I believe, an economical question. Do you believe that the US, you know, the US economy is going to be better and going to be stronger against other currency? I know that Europe is a bit in delay regarding all inflation and the debt and everything. How you believe that, you know, US is still in trouble and then we will have other currency starting to be stronger? Here, it's more an economic questions than a technical. Of course, we like to see techniques and analyze it very technically, but I think it's more an economical questions. To see, do you believe that the dollar index will in the next months going to be up or down? For me, it's a macroeconomic question. This is H4. What about the daily? Yeah, the market is also here, the key zone. That's probably why the market reacted a little bit yesterday. See, this is a key zone here. Make a top breakout, dancing around, test here, again test here, and then we test also today here. I don't like to put this as a line, as you know, guys. It's more for me, you know, a zone. Okay, this is for me a zone, big zone. Okay, when the market here can go back all the way down into this. Okay, this is a scenario that we can expect actually. So this is for dollar index weekly biases. Okay, so we'll be talking about the weekly biases. Let's go to the weekly chart. Yeah, again, this is what I think. This is exactly the same. Basically, the market starting to went down a little bit here. This is a zone. Probably expecting the dollar index to go back a little bit down to 100. I think oil, there is a lot of interesting movement in oil recently. You see, it looks like the market is packing up here, definitely on oil, and there is a lot of rumors. How can I explain? Expectation that the oil will actually fly up, go back to the top to 100, reach back to $100 per barrel. I think they are missing all in US. I don't follow so much the news in all recently, but technically we see this very, you know, the market didn't succeed to move down below 72 all the time, backing up again. People like to all the time the price goes down, increase their exposure, and probably expect the market will go up here on oil. So yeah, we need to be careful also about oil, because it will, I think this oil will probably have an effect in the US currency if the price goes up and invert. I mean. Okay, US market open in 1 minute. Let's look if we can do something here. The market just opened right now. M5. Again, if you know, guys, I want to have a big volatility movement in a small amount of time to find if we can have any reaction. For me, this is the point that we can expect the market to go and where I want to react. Basically on M15, for example. This might be too far, but we will see. I just want to put the pound USD back. Yeah, there is also a point here that the market can react. What about USD CAD? Yeah, let's look at this right now. We have the news probably earlier today. It's quite difficult to see something here on the H1. What I see is, you know, big uptrend that's still holding. You know, before a few minutes here, the market just hold. Yeah, so, you know, healthy uptrend on the H1. This is quite clear here. Here we had a nice point actually to go in. On the daily chart, yeah, here will be probably the top to go. There's still some space to go. Maybe opening a sell when the market moved up into this big zone. I don't see anything else to do except to make a buy into this big zone. So probably people found a good spot, for example, you know, here on a buy and then here also today. This is quite a nice entry to go. But I'm expecting a new high in the dollar CAD, looking at the chart here. So probably making a new high from today, and reaching back this big resistance zone here. That's what I see in the dollar CAD. I think looking at the lower time frame, it's not relevant. Yeah, makes sense for me. Yeah, the S&P is going down very brutally right now. I want to see if we can make some type of short scalp here when the market goes down straight to here. We are still a bit far. The entry need to be very accurate here. So let's wait a little bit more. Again, I need to wait for a better spot to go in. Actually, this is not a spot. Let's wait for the blue line and check on the market react. Yeah, the pound USD is reacting very well here on that spot. See the big spot that we identified just before. Reacting very good. Again, like I said, I want to exceed some of the position here on the breakout line, and then I will see if the market can go to this demand. Again, on the M30, we see clearly that the market here is starting to cross above 80. So it's quite a nice entry. What about the S&P? We are not so far from the entry I want. It's you know, it's quite a risky scalp here because the next dimension is below. But this can be worse, I think. What in the US? Sorry, I don't want to miss. Yeah. Yeah, the US 30 will just below that, you know. Yeah, this might be good actually. Just need to change a little bit the exposure here. Let's go in. Again, this is a bit more risky than the trade in the pound USD, but definitely this is the type of spot I like. Big volatility in a small amount of time. It's just the beginning of the American session. I'm not expecting yet the market. Don't see this type of trade to be very accurate and have a 1 to 30 risk reward. I'm not expecting the price to go back here, but at least have a small reaction. maybe exit the trade just here, for example. And again, this is quite risky. We have a lot of movement here. Maybe the market will go down to this zone, which can be my second entry basically. And you see on M1 we were already, the momentum was below 20 for a long period of time. We're starting to cross a bit here already. So we'll see. Maybe we'll take already the TP up to here for a short scalp. Actually hoping on the dollar move up today and back to the high for the rest of the week. Seeing this should pressure US indices lower. Yeah, so basically, of course, if we see that the US, no, I mean if the dollar, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if the dollar pushed up, we're gonna have US indices to make a lower movement. But basically, by looking at what's happening on the dollar index here, let me put back the dollar index. The market can here give some respect to the zone we identified. I mean that's already happened. See, the market already made a movement down. Hey tower, I think it's nice. Yeah, probably a supply here. We just react to this supply. So the market can react to this zone. Again, I don't like to expect a breakout. This is not the type of trader I am, but when looking at this, the market already react to this supply. You see, this is supply reacting very well here, and then goes back down. So probably expect here a breakout to see a lower movement on the US indices. Yeah, here on the daily chart. Also, that didn't see that, but on the daily chart in the Dow Jones, we are in a big key point. You know, I mean this is quite a crucial week for. This is quite a crucial week actually for the US indices, especially on the Dow Jones, when the market is coming back to the 30,600 level, which hold for a lot of time. Denislav, yeah, happy to see you here. Yeah, you have a nickname. Yeah, let's put the stop loss here very close on the Dow Jones. It's probably below the low that we just create. No, this is too close for me. Okay. Yeah, that might be okay. Yeah, this is quite the first time I see you here, Denislav. So happy to see you. That's fine. I know that you are focusing on your trading and focusing on your work also, so that's totally fine. But yeah, come say hi sometime, you know. Appreciate seeing you here. And you can also get some insight and get some of my analysis. You know, sometimes it can be like we can share the same analysis. So yeah. And if I think something different, so this can also, you can take also this in consideration to, ask you some questions. Say, yeah, maybe why you think that, and maybe I as a trader, you never have 100% right of the time. It's only up to all you see and what's your mindset. So always, but it is always good to have an interaction and to check what the other people think in the market, even you think completely the opposite way. Hey Batista, appreciate your feedback. Yeah, basically I'm coming only one time a week on the live session. Basically every Monday you have Saul, that is also an awesome trader, so you can also come every Monday to see his live. And sometimes I'm also making some London session live with Jordan on Trade Delicious. But basically on this channel every Tuesday I'm live and making trading room. I love Fabry spreads. I like them too, very good spread actually. You see some of the spreads here are zero. On the Euro USD sometime, Aussie dollar, Euro pound is very low also, zero. You see, we have very good spreads, very competitive one, and the execution is very fast, so good condition. See, this is completely different that getting the execution a few seconds after, and so sometimes it can be frustrating when you're a scalper. You want to get the execution as fast as possible with the lower spread. So scalping in the 5ers is actually a playground, is very good. And you definitely see the difference by trading on very good platform with very nice execution and other platform. Yeah, here it's a 1 to 2.5 risk reward, between 1 to 2 and 1 to 3. Again, quite risky, but it is the type of trade I like to take. Stop loss is very tight, and the Dow Jones is very brutal at some points. So just be patient and wait for it. And here the pound is just starting to move back again. But yeah, we are still in the zone in the H1 and in the M30. Just need some patience for the price to take some orders here before the price get a little bit down. This is what I think in the pound. So yeah, we only need to be patient. Okay, here we just had a reaction. It's not enough for me, but just touch the mean here on the M1. You see, just stopped at the mean. In M5 we still have some space, I think. Yes, you know that sometimes, not sometimes, in the shorter time frame, the dollar pairs, let's say the pound USD will move correlately with the US indices. Um, like Denislav, you mentioned when the pound USD will push up, you will in the shorter time frame see also a small movement up in the US indices. This is basically maybe why we see a short movement up here on the pound USD. This is not 100% correlated, but there is definitely a connection. Can't you have a look on Footsie? Yeah, here the pound is very aggressive. It's quite very brutal here on the pound. Maybe I should actually reinforce my position. Like I said, we are basically good in the zone. Not M1. Can you have a look on Footsie? Yeah, yeah. Let me put the Footsie one now. Yeah, we just break this this big zone in the Footsie. I don't know if we can say this is a fake breakout. This looks like the market just break down. Yeah, this makes sense, I think. The market just touched the top here. I mean, if you see on the monthly chart, I hope that some of people that like to come into my trading room don't make actually buying the Footsie here, you know. It's like shooting in your foot, you know. The monthly chart, you know, the market overextended already. Probably the all-time high. So touch the all-time high. I don't know if we made the all-time high. So we make the all-time high and then we go back straight. Basically what I see here in the weekly is just starting to get a little bit down and get new buyers. You see, that's probably the zone that I would look on the Footsie, getting back down into 7,600. Looking at the daily chart, yeah, create a top. Again, I don't know if it's a good moment to place a sell because the market already went down too much. People that starting created a position like making a sell here and a sell here, so they played it very well. Here, this is not the time to place the sell. The market already went down. Again, looking at the M30, M15, the market went down. Yeah, so basically market expecting to go back maybe 2% down in the next week. That's what I think in the Footsie. In opposite to the Dow Jones, you know, which is the US indices, on the daily chart, we didn't break. I mean, this is not the same pattern. I know that the French index and which is the CAC and the Footsie made a new high already very recently. In opposite to the US indices that are a little bit far from making a new high, for example, in the Dow Jones or in the S&P. But the Dow Jones is holding quite a nice spot. Again, like I said, this week and the next 2 weeks going to be very crucial to see if this hold. Again, big chance that we go back down straight to the top. And if we break, there are going to be some consequences, and we need to see what's next. Very close of the stop loss here, and didn't push enough yet, not so far. Again, we will let it run until the end. just take the stop loss in the US in the Dow Jones, so that's fine. Maybe I will look few moments later what's happening in this zone. The market is very brutal. That's the way the type of movement I like to see. We'll see. Again, pound, just build a position. We'll see how far we can go down. That's it. Taekwondo trader. I look forward to joining 5ers soon. Will be full-time trading, I hope, for you. And yeah, be welcome to join anytime you want at the 5ers. Again, guys, we reached the end of the session. As usual, today we had a very volatile day, especially in the USD. But very aggressive, especially on the pound, and yeah, the pound was very aggressive. We'll see what next. Still will manage the position. And again, as usual, let's meet next Tuesday. Again, same type of content, same type of trading room, taking some trade, explaining analysis, and of course interacting with you guys. I think that's what makes the live interesting. You share some symbol that you want to discuss. I bring some analysis, and you say, yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, so all the interaction is here very, very interesting. Again, guys, thank you for being with me until the end. Appreciate your time being here. I wish you a nice end of the week, and yeah, enjoy trading. Goodbye, guys. Thank you. Bye, Denislav. Goodbye.